Am I worried about being too easy? No, absolutely not. Even with this new gear, if the mechanics are hard, all the gear in the world isn't going to help you because you're just going to instantly die.
Welcome to another video. No, it's not the Bad Take Thursday, or maybe it is, but we'll see later. But of course, sorry again for not stepping into the right direction on my video 1 week ago. But I'm trying my best to make things clearer, and yes, I'm against cheating, full stop. However, I actually wanted to do another 5 reasons video today, but due to the live letter hitting tomorrow and being really busy on getting some awesome footage for the top 10 Dark Knight weapons, I have to delay the job comparison until next week. I'm sorry. Nonetheless, you should not be kept waiting on uploads for too long, so let's engage in the recent conversation about the 1 week delay of Savage and how it might affect the difficulty level of content. When looking at this little overview Xeno made, I'm absolutely sure that this whole topic is being overcooked. I guess the main reason being that Final Fantasy XIV players are literally starving for content, and they're in big fear that this content might be cleared too quickly. Which will always be a thing if you grind down content in the 24/7 mode in the first week, so you should consider how you tackle it. However, there's some truth behind it, and I want to clarify some misconceptions again. Gear in Final Fantasy XIV does not matter, or at least not that much. I literally pulled off parses head to head with high-end raiders in the only tier I have actively raided Savage by just equipping my pentamelted crafter gear. So if you believe that one piece of gear more or less makes the difference between killing the boss or not, I don't think you follow on the correct mindset, but let us start at the beginning. So the Savage raid, unlike it happened every other patch before, will get delayed by 1 week, so that you have time to enjoy the normal raid version, story and all the content the patch will provide. Which in all honesty is something truly positive. Why shouldn't you be able to do that? Predicting mechanics for Savage and theory crafting the shit out of encounters? Yeah, sure, go all in. If you want to spend that extra effort over other raid parties, why not? I still don't see a downside on this. Or maybe the cutscene skipping is actually the reason that brings you into the peak gamer mode for clearing content ASAP? I don't know about that. But of course, a worried Final Fantasy XIV player will find a reason to criticize, which I highly emphasize to do on a regular basis, but on a freaking piece of gear difference, absolutely not. Like Xeno said, will it make a difference for the world first raiders? Probably not. Even when fights are designed around having that one piece of gear, they will fight the odds and take the gold down as quickly as ever before. But for which sort of player base it matters is actually a pro argument, because for all those that succeeded in learning and mastering their techniques and skills for all mechanics of the raid, but they just lack that 1 or 2% damage due to a suboptimal party composition or something like that, this might just be the little extra piece of gear to get it done. But what if Square acknowledged this gear advantage over previous patches and just make the boss scale towards this exact power level? Guess what? Nothing changes at all from the difficulty aspect, except you have all the benefits and advantages I mentioned before. Hell, you can even get the primal weapon in the first week without any interruption of Savage proc, which sounds amazing to my casual ears at least. And this just being a time advantage because most parties have farmed that weapon anyways. But when reading through the feedback on YouTube here, this is exactly how I feel about it as well. Because there might be week 1 racers that are happy about that gap because they do enjoy some of the story content as well, and making the necessity to skip pointers is really good. This here is not about catering content to the casual player base more and more. It is basically just a quality of life change for everyone, so I have to put up my passage of arms for Square here. I mean, yes, crafters might lose the advantage of getting some nasty gil out of exploiting the lack of time and urgency to get good gear fast. But do we support exploitation? No, we don't do that. So even from a crafter's perspective, I really do enjoy the change and that people can join all together on the sexy new gear marketing. I mean, prices will have plummeted in less than a day anyway, so even on this aspect, this doesn't matter negatively. Basically what Edster said on Xeno's video, people are blowing this out of proportion. 1% doesn't matter at all. Instead, you could even try to form a stronger meta party composition to reach these values, which I also don't recommend. Instead, just try to enjoy this patch as best as possible, as we will have a long gap in between this and the next one maybe. So I will go for the Savage content this time, and I would love to have you join that sensation. Either on Twitch or in-game, we will beat that Savage tier and we will have the most fun possible. Because that is why we're playing games, right? And of course, if you have fun in being the first and doing the world first clears, go for it. But listen, you're not affected by these changes anyways, as you're a top end raider and you will always stick to the odds that surround you. So embrace this patch, let us see what Yoshi P is having for us tomorrow, and if that hype is not enough, check out some epic Dark Knight weapons on the weekend. Until then, stay tuned, stay calm, and keep loving Final Fantasy. Oh, and if you need something to complain about, think about the real problems of Final Fantasy XIV.
The cover of the patch had that guy with the beard, which is probably Laha Bread, you know? And I think it's funny that they gave him a beard, but they can't put a fucking beard in the fucking game. There's beards everywhere, except for the place that we need a fucking beard.